Things will get worse before they get better. You've heard the saying before, I'm sure. It's a very simple, famous saying. Things will get worse before they get better. It's life. This is it. We've all been there. You just put yourself outside of crypto, which is what we're going to talk about in this video. But if you just think of life, the peaks and the valleys, the things that we have to go through, the things that mold us, the things that build character, the things that build perseverance and persistence, all of these things, this is the cycle of life, no matter what part of life you're in. So I want to apply this to crypto because I think it's really important. I'm in my garage right now. I'm getting ready to do a quick little workout, and I wanted to just have a candid conversation because the charts are just lame, right? Bitcoin is at resistance. Things are dipping. There's fear in the markets because of the Fed and some remarks coming out about the Fed potentially needing to continue to raise rates before really getting a grasp on where the economy is going. But that's kind of foundational to the saying that things will get worse before they get better. So I want to apply this to crypto and where we are. First things first, before we talk about the economy, I remember the last bear market. I remember doing videos like every day throughout the entirety of the bear market and just going down and down and down, and Bitcoin's like going to from 20,000 to like $3,000 to $4,000. And then I remember bouncing out of that. And I remember that hype that was in the air, the bear market's over. And I think if you watch my YouTube channel and you see a lot of my Bitcoin technical analysis, you see me talk a lot about 2019, that we're in this very similar move. Coming out of that 2018 bear market, we're getting these really nice moves to the upside, and then it actually started falling again, like the year prior to the Bitcoin halving, before finally entering the bull market. The reason why I bring that up a lot is not just because on the charts, from a technical analysis standpoint, it's very similar and it's a possibility, but it's also just the mental aspect of it. I don't believe we're in a bull market just yet. And we've come out of that bear market low, and that is good, but the halving is still a ways away, right? It's less than a year away, which is good, but we still have some time. And with everything going on in the economy right now, and just with the Fed and all the fear and the headlines, I think it's very wise to just anticipate that there will be sideways trading or even a downtrend similar to 2019. I have such similar vibes right now. And I think what's happening with the Fed and with this pivot that everybody's waiting for, I think there's some time that would allow for a consolidation. I always say that it would be amazing if crypto just actually keeps going. We exited the bear market and it just keeps going. But I do not think from even a cycle perspective that is in play. Now, in terms of things will get worse before they get better, the bear market was the bear market, right? A key data point that I mentioned over and over on this YouTube channel is the year before the recession, markets are usually at their worst. For us in this instance, recession being 2023, we're in it. 2022, probably the worst for the market. So I think the worst is over. But in terms of this saying, things will get worse before they get better, we've lived through it. We've lived through that saying in this crypto cycle. We lived through that saying in the last crypto bear market cycle, things getting worse before they get better. But I think we should be mindful on what does get better look like. Get better isn't the bull market starting. Not in my opinion. Get better is resetting cycles. And to allow that to happen, we needed to exit out of 2018 bear market into 2019, that nice pump. And the continuation of get better was Bitcoin consolidating, falling back down. Obviously, COVID came into play and really kind of destroyed the charts for a second there in March 2020. But that entire period before the halving, that last year or so, before the halving, was necessary to get better. And we're just in that phase right now. We're in that phase of getting better. Now, in regards to the economy, I think because things have gotten so bad and we're not completely out of the woods yet, I think when the Fed finally does pivot and things like trueflation continue to show just bullish data in terms of inflation falling, I think it's low. I think it's under 3% on trueflation. That's on-chain Oracle data. And so if that's happening, and then the Fed does pivot eventually, and maybe we're months away from this new narrative, this bullish narrative, this is a perfect example of why markets could rally as the economy is just finally starting to show signs of positivity, signs of life, right? The economy is not the market. And that's just something I keep telling myself. So this is a process, everybody. And I'm not trying to be overly optimistic. Things have been tough, right? But it's, I think, a good idea to pay attention to data. It's a good idea to pay attention to cycles, to not even just Bitcoin cycles, but just historical context relating to the stock market, right? That data that shows that the year before the recession is worse for markets. The markets are not the economy. So I want to just put this out there. It's kind of bringing into play some realistic perspective, not being emotional at all, following the data, and also just trying to be encouraging because, you know, as long-term investors, which I know many of you are, there has to be some certain type of conviction in terms of just staying in the game, staying in the markets, right? And I know if you're deciding to do that, and that's your decision, this is just my thoughts on the markets, how I see things. But if you're deciding to do that, I realize that that's not always easy. When we have all of these headlines, we have all of these things happening. So those are my thoughts on the markets today. Things get worse before they get better. That's life. But this is where we learn perseverance. This is where opportunity is. It's in that fear. It's in that pain. And that's kind of what's happening right now. So let me know your thoughts, everybody, in the comments below. I appreciate you coming by. Hit the subscribe and like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.